Many of you, in the last couple of days, we've been very fortunate to have some very good press, some very good announcements in Union Station. As of yesterday, our traditional office space, we're about 100% leased up with many new tenants, and we're very fortunate because that is allowing us to have our economic stability. So to all of our board of directors and our professional team for making that happen, we'd like to say thank you, and more importantly, we'd like to thank the tenants that made a commitment to Union Station for its future growth. One of the things that many people in this community, based upon the bi-state, wanted was an active civic center called Union Station, an active transportation hub, a place for science and activity. And I can tell you today, we are moving closer and closer to that reality, only a little bit different now. Today, we're an active civic center and business center thanks to the Chamber and Kansas City Area Development Council. So there are so many people here. We're an active science center with all of our new tenants such as Casey STEM, the new invention and the investment in Science City as we grow and succeed there with over $1 million invested by Burns and McDowell recently. We continue to be an active transportation hub and a place where people come, enjoy, and experience history through our exhibits. Also, people like to come down and eat now. And I'm kind of fortunate to be able to say on Sunday there'll be about 1,600 people here to bring their mothers to have Mother's Day brunch. So I hope and I believe that our board has delivered on that promise some 15 years ago to our community, and it won't get better. Today is an even special moment for our station, and that is bringing the history back to the people of Kansas City, the history of Union Station. Over the last few years, thanks to many, we have started to add new pieces of artifacts and history and painting and art to Union Station. For many of you, I hope you've had the chance to see the amazing Westport landing mural that's across the way. Our creation of the Union Station that hangs over the grand hallway, and that wonderful painting. Also, the wonderful bald eagle that you see in the corner. And then, of course, one of our most valuable pieces, and that is the reed train that sits under the historic Union Station clock. But today we're bringing something back that we haven't seen for many, many years, and that is the history, the entrepreneurship, and the hospitality of the Harvey House. As we look today and we've seen the reincarnation of the original Harvey House, the Westport room, these are the doors that many people passed. But also over the years, it was several other things. It was a food court. It was the infamous lobster pot. And now it's the Civic Center for the Chamber of Commerce. But it's our responsibility to keep that memory alive. And thanks to an amazing donation by Mike and Marlis Haverty, they have been able to secure one of the most detailed collections of Harvey House china ever combined in any one location. And now we have that memory for future generations. In addition, you'll see what the Harvey House used to be like in the 20s. And look at that picture very closely. If you look through the windows, the chamber saved all of the artifacts on that wall and how it looked. But obviously it's not a restaurant. Today we will also unveil a beautiful piece of art that is reminiscent of that piece so that people today can relive what the past was like. So, on behalf of our entire board of directors and our team, we'd like to say thank you. Before we do the unveiling and hear a few words from Mike and Marlis, it would be appropriate for us at this time to thank a couple of people. One, I'd like to thank Willis. Patrick Willis is with Kansas City Southern and has worked diligently to be behind the scenes to help us do this. Marlon that recreated all of the cases that are recreated of what it would really look like at the time. And of course, Jack Olson and American Galleries, who was able to do that. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And last but not least, our professional team, our curatorial team from the Kansas City Museum and Union Station. Denise Morrison, thank you, Denise, for what you did. Ryan Trott, Ryan's out there as well. Lisa Shockley and Sally Patterson. They are the ones that we refer to as our glove patrol. They are the ones that make sure that all the artifacts are beautiful and keep our history for future generations. So without any other questions or comments, I would like to introduce to you Mike Haverty, the chairman of our board of Union Station, to say a few words about the painting, his passion about the Harvey House and the history, and really what are some of the things for the future. Mr. Haverty?
Thank you very much, George. On behalf of my wife Marlis and I, we want to say that we are very, very pleased that we were able to get some Harvey House artifacts, plates and silverware and so on, to add to what Union Station already had. They had a tremendous collection. But what we wanted to do was to be able to display that near what was the Harvey House many, many years ago. And it was kind of a dark spot up there. And so we thought that if we could get some cases and display some of these artifacts, that it would really show the history that Union Station has with not only the Harvey House, but also Fred Harvey. Probably most of you know that Fred Harvey was a Kansas Cityan, one of the most famous restaurateurs in the country, and he built a network of restaurants affiliated with railroads, and primarily Santa Fe Railroad, and I spent 21 years at Santa Fe, so I know quite a bit of that history. But when you think about that, his office was right here in Union Station. I think a lot of people don't even realize that. I don't think a lot of people understand the history that Fred Harvey had with Union Station. So Marlis and I wanted to be able to get some display cases here, to be able to show the artifacts. And then secondly, what we tried to do was to create what would be what we considered a view of looking into the Harvey House. And as I understand it, maybe this picture goes back to like maybe the late 1930s. So it was a look into the Harvey House 75 years ago. And I'm a fourth-generation railroader. Spent a lot of time in my childhood down here in the 1950s, went to the Harvey House. So it was kind of a special thing to bring history to Union Station. And so Marlis and I felt very strongly that we ought to do this. And what we did is we picked an artist here in Kansas City, a fellow named Marlon Rotash, who happens to be one of the top watercolorists in the world, in the entire world. He's one of the top 90 watercolorists. And he has done some paintings for us in our home. And so we thought that he could create something that would almost look like a picture looking back into the Harvey House back 75 years ago. That's the black and white version of that picture. And what he did is he added color to it, and I think you're going to see in a minute that it's very beautiful. And we are very pleased that we carry on the tradition of the Harvey House by having Harveys over here. And George made the point that there's going to be 1,600 people come down here for Mother's Day. I mean, that is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Fred Harvey would be up there clapping and thinking 1,600 people coming down here for Mother's Day. That's a great thing. So anyway, on behalf of my wife Marlis and I, we are very pleased that we could help with Union Station. We both have a passion for Union Station, and I think it's turned the corner because of the leadership of George and of all of the team of folks that have really done some great things here. And you don't know how pleased and how gratified that I am personally because of the passion that I have for Union Station, and how appreciative I am of what the team has done to really turn this thing around. So it's really very gratifying. So George, what's the next step here?
Thank you. For media, we'll be doing two things. Mike and Marlis will be on either side of the painting, and really go over there. We'll get up there in just a moment. And I'd also like to introduce to you Vetta. Vetta is really one of the Harvey House girls, but actually she did for us for many years a one-woman show on the history of the Union Station story. So really an interactor historian, she'll be able to answer many questions after the unveiling, as well as Denise and the curatorial team. Then it will unveil the china, while the Havertys unveil the watercolor. So on behalf of our entire staff, we'd like to say thank you, Mr. Harvey, thank you for your dogged determination in keeping the station open, and Marlis, thank you for adding the class and style to his dogged determination that makes this place beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, without any ado, let's do that. Joined to come up and see it, and we will take the Vetta will take the other pieces off on either side. Please enjoy. Thank you for coming.